right. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Um, we're really excited to have you here on board. I'm Isabel, I'm the founder of ILN Networking. I'm here today with Albert and Jack, who are the founders of UnderPinned, which are our sponsors for this year's mentoring edition, longtime supporters of ILN Networking. And also they will talk to us about their amazing platform, everything that you can do with it beyond just applying for the mentoring program. So we are going to quickly run through a few details about the mentoring itself. Then Albert is going to run through some of the aspects and tools of the platform so everyone knows how to use it to its best abilities and take the most out of it. It's free to create an account. They have a job board. They have lots of really great resources for freelancers, but also for anyone who works and has a side hustle or anything, and also really great articles, which I recommend. So definitely subscribe to their newsletter. So with the mentoring, I'll quickly, we'll have a time afterwards for questions about the mentoring itself or any questions that you might have for UnderPinned, so don't worry. And we will record this and this will be made public so that everyone can access afterwards and make sure that they know the best way to do this. All right, so I'll quickly share my screen. It's like only a 3-slide presentation, but just so it's a little prettier. So basically, we are a mentoring and networking platform to support women and non-binary people in the creative industries, as I feel like most of you will know. What else I can say about that? We have the mentoring scheme, obviously, which is open until the 19th of July, but 19th of July, sorry, 19th of April, getting my dates all mixed up. And we have a podcast. We also have our online events program like this one. We do a bunch of digital resources as well. We just released our free career guide. So definitely keep up with us everywhere. Let me just welcome some more people here. Sorry, guys. Cool. So to apply, it's really simple. For the mentoring, you're going to go to our website, research the mentors, because you get to select 2 mentors that you like to work with. Then you go to UnderPinned and you fill up a portfolio there. So this is what you need to put in, a career history, what you hope to get out of the mentoring program, what is your vision for the future of the creative industry, select 2 ideal mentors from the 2020 list and let us know why, and then a video section. All of this is on our website and it's also on our newsletter, and we've also sent it around on our Instagram. So I won't take too much time talking about that specifically. We can go to that at the end if anyone has questions, but if you just go to our website, ilnnetworking.uk, you'll find a place to apply with the full instructions. But basically, Albert is going to run us through how to create a portfolio and all of that, but it's really, really simple, very user-friendly. And you will definitely have a place to just upload a link from YouTube or Vimeo or Google Drive, whatever, on the portfolio, okay? The one really important note is that the portfolio must be open. You can't add any passwords to it so that we can access. And then once you completed the application on the UnderPinned portfolio, which is gonna look as beautiful as you like, you go back to our website and then you put in the link over there on the form that we have on our section. I'll drop the link on the chat for anyone who has a question, okay? So we'll talk afterwards about everything in terms of the content and what I would suggest people to do in terms of learnings to have the best chance of getting selected. But also on Friday, we're gonna release a podcast that we did with 4 mentees from last year's edition. And they'll talk about their experience, their tips for applying, what they thought about doing the video. I know this is something that scares a lot of people and all sorts of other things. So I definitely recommend listening to that or watching it on YouTube because it's going to be there as well. So this is the main thing from our end. I will now hand it over to Albert so he can tell us a little bit more about UnderPinned. And Albert, let me know if you need me to share your screen.
Yeah,
make
can
you
I
the
share my
host.
screen? Yeah,
Yes.
thank you very much. Hello, everybody,
Once,
welcome. First, thank you very much as well. We sponsor ILN Networking because everything they do is absolutely amazing and incredibly supportive to a huge number of people and significantly helpful. And we've been honored to be able to work with Isabel for the last actually more than a year now. We've been working. Which is really cool. And we do lots of interesting things. So I'm going to not bore you too much, but quickly talk you through the process to make sure that everybody understands how to do the application. So it's super straightforward. And so there is no confusion, but it should be very straightforward. So very simply, go to our website, which there's lots of links for, and you can check out all the other stuff we do. We have like a magazine with loads of articles on how to freelance and build a business. But for today, let's focus. You can sign in directly with Google, which is probably the easiest way. But if you make an account, you just need to put your email, name, password in, and it's completely free. So it's very, very straightforward. Once you've signed in, you will get yourself to this dashboard. And basically, everything that you need to build a freelance career is basically built into this thing. So I'm going to talk through it a little bit, but I'm going to focus on the things that you need to actually apply for this mentorship program, because that's obviously why you're here. But fundamentally, UnderPinned is split into 4 main areas, which is which is learning, which is all about learning how to be a better freelancer, learning how to build a good business, learning how to build something that is kind of built on proper business principles and building good freelance businesses. One of the things we've learned of lots of early stage business owners, entrepreneurs, freelancers is that taking something that you're passionate about and something that you're really good at and turning it into a business that makes money in a consistent way is a really, really difficult hurdle to surmount. And so we really focus on how to build resources and courses and tools that make that transition of building a successful business a lot easier. And that's really what UnderPinned is kind of one place to manage all those business building activities that you do around your craft and around the thing that you're passionate about. So the Ultimate Guide to Freelancing is a 5-week course that we do. We have an events calendar with all of the events from all over the place that can help you build a better business, including the events that we run. And then you have your profile. And your profile is kind of the home of who you are and what you do and everything you'd want to share as a business owner or as a freelancer, where all of your portfolios are as well. But if we go on to portfolios, all of this is free. Like everything I'm showing you to access is free. So to get onto portfolios, you don't need to pay anything. You can just sign up and give it a go. You'll only be able to make 5 before you need to be a premium member, but that's more than enough. And what you'll need to do is you need to create a new portfolio. And this is quite important. For you guys, you'll need to use our classic template. Because the classic template allows you to input a video, whereas the others are just for images and text. So Masonry is kind of like a mood board style thing that you could use to create. Lots of photographers use it and designers use it when they're trying to present mood boards or kind of samples of their work. Wordsmith tends to be used for writers and consultants who are trying to use a lot of imagery and text. But Classic, which is probably the thing that looks most like portfolio builders you've used before, kind of like Dribble or Behance, where it just builds it in a single column. So you'll want to edit your header, make obviously your title something about, something about your application. You can add your logo, you can add an about yourself, or you can add you can use that to add descriptions. You can add your email, so it's easy to reply to you. You can add socials if you think that they're relevant. And that will all pop up at the top here. And then you can basically just start adding in sections. So if we start with a text section, this is my application. Very, very straightforward, and we can add in as many as you want. We can also change the width of them to try and make it look nicer, and you can play with this how you want, and then you can edit it. You can add videos. Now, the way that you add videos is really important that you add videos via a URL. Obviously, we're not better than Facebook, so obviously we're not better than YouTube, so there's no point us rebuilding video thing. So you upload it to YouTube. You can upload it as a private video, or you can upload it as a public video. It doesn't really matter as long as you have that shareable link, and then you can just embed it, and that's what they'll use to see that. I decided to use a visual video, which looks good on it. And then really simply, you can add in pictures as well, which is, again, very straightforward. I added a beautiful picture of my head of product on the beach. I'm sure he won't mind me sharing that picture. He said it to me in a professional context, though. It's one of our Slack emojis that we use for when something is done well by him. Anyway. So it's very simple. That's pretty much it. That's how you make a portfolio. And then what you'll notice is that when you exit, normally it'll be a draft. No one can see it while you're editing it. But when you're finished, you can view it. You can preview it as it would be. So you'll see how it will be viewed by whoever you send it to. You can change the settings around it. You can change your tags, etc. You can add a cover photo. And then basically when you're ready to publish it, you can publish it. Just make sure not to make it private. It needs to be public so that Isabel can access it easily. And I'll just steal a picture or something to put into there. And you'll just need to add on one talk, so you can just put something like international education for your tags or mentoring, or you can make it specific to what you do. So if you're a graphic designer, you can put it into graphic design. And then that's pretty much it. And then when you publish it, that's done, and then it'll be published and you'll get a shareable link. So now it's a publishable version. You can either send it directly as an email, or you can copy the link and share it however you want. I'm going to unpublish it because I'm not sure my head of product wants to publish one on my profile with that picture on it. Cool. So moving on just quickly to talk you through everything else. So now you'll see that it's in my drafts. These are, you can see I've done lots of tests. These are all the ones that people can't see, and then in published are the ones that people can see. And if you have one that's locked, you'll see it comes up with a little lock symbol, which means it's protected by a password, so you can differentiate between the two. The locked ones won't come up on your profile, but the public ones will all come up on your profile as well. And you'll be able to see them on the network. So if you want to look for inspiration of other people and what portfolios they're doing, you can go check out the network and go to portfolios, and you can go and look at all the different parts. Here there's already an application already. You can go and check out, I mean, there's literally thousands and thousands and thousands of portfolios. You can spend ages going through other people's and look at what people are doing, but it's a nice way to see how other people are using the system to make things. I'll very quickly talk through the other things you can do in the virtual office, but for your mentorship application, that's all you're going to need to know. Then we have a find clients tool. So if you're looking to find other clients in your industry in the UK, you can use this to basically search any industry in the UK and find 5 clients at a time, and then you can pull them into a saved leads, and you can track them, and you can send them your portfolios, and you can use this as like a CRM to track leads that you generate to find clients. So basically a system where you can find clients in absolutely any industry at all across the whole of the UK. And there's only over 250,000 businesses in this. Then we have a job board, which is basically a weekly updated curated job board with only freelance and entrepreneur opportunities. And we curate this so they're all from companies that we trust, that are properly paying, and they're well-paid opportunities. And it's really important to us that that's true. So we only work with people who hire responsibly and hire freelancers responsibly. And if we ever get complaints about any of the employers that are on there, we bring it up with them and we don't use them again. Then contacts, you can manage your business contacts, which links into the other parts of the system. You can manage your to-do list and your tasks. You can see that I was doing a lot of testing of this recently. You can write notes and store your notes here. You can have your calendar here, which basically updates automatically with all the events that we have and all the stuff that's going on. But perhaps most importantly for some of you guys is the invoicing and contract stuff, which is just a bit of a pain for everybody when they're starting doing business a bit more often, which is using an invoicing system that's easy to use and that automatically updates with your contacts. It takes about 1 minute to make an invoice, and you can segment it and put in all your different services. I'll quickly show you. You can add clients that you already have. You can set your rate type. Make it a really good rate. You can add VAT if you need to. You can add more services if you need to. And then when you create the invoice, you can just send it to somebody, and it'll have a massive pay button, and they can pay straight through the invoice, which again is free. We don't take any commission off that. And then it'll tell you automatically when it's been paid, and it'll be updated with paid. And then finally, in contracts, which is a big thing that a lot of early stage entrepreneurs and freelancers struggle with, is what on earth to put in a contract. But it's also one of the main reasons that people don't get paid on time. I cannot highlight how important it is to use a contract, but the truth is I had no idea how to do a contract when I started freelancing, and it's not something that many people have access or understanding to. And so it's something that we wanted to make really, really, really simple. And again, it automatically tells you whether the client signed it or not. But most simply, you just have to put in the key details, the client that it is, cancellation fees, which are a really important way of protecting yourself, deposit fees, your main rate, the quantity, and then what you'll notice is that's the same setup as the invoice, which becomes important later. This is the most important page for most early stage businesses and freelancers that no one has ever been told about, which is really upsetting, because when you work with somebody, one of the most important things is understanding who owns the work that you've made. Most freelancers and early stage entrepreneurs won't ever clarify that, and it can cause a lot of issues later, but one of the biggest problems being not getting paid. So we wanted to make this as simple as humanly possible. Basically, if you retain all rights but grant a license, put most simply, that means you still own the piece, but you license the piece to somebody. So you license a piece of work for them to use, but you still have your name on it, like journalists have the tags on it, and they license it for a specific purpose to be used in the newspaper. Assigned copyright will retain moral rights, might be something like a TV script where the production company owns the TV script, but you retain the right to be named on it. Assigned copyright and waive moral rights. Most B2B services, when you do graphic design or you do consultancy, you give over the ownership to the business and you don't try and take credit for it in the future. For lots of advertising campaigns, you might not be taking credit for it in the future. And that's a difference. So you're basically selling them everything to do with that work. And then for some bits of work, you won't need anything. And then if you do this, you can put in the name that you're credited for. If you do if you assign the license, you can basically work out some of the details of it. It's all in very plain English. Once you've created the contract, it has really straightforward stuff on it that basically tells you how to do it. You can send the contract to a client very simply. They can electronically sign it, and then you know that you're covered. You know, if there's any dispute later down the line, you can always refer back to this, and it's super simple. The other thing you can do is you can automatically generate the invoices. So if you want to generate a deposit invoice, you just click generate the invoice, and it will automatically generate the invoice that you need, and then you can send it directly to the client. If you get into it, you can also do your accounting through us and do your insurances through us. And we also have 24/7 helplines, so those are premium features. Our premium costs £5 a month and basically gives you access to 24/7 helplines, unlimited searches of clients, monthly workshops and Q&As with me and the rest of the team, and a few other bits and bobs that help improve your experience. But basically, as I said, the main thing here is, I'm not trying to sell you Underpin. If it becomes useful for you, I would love to have you involved in the Underpin community. But the main thing here is like, we're here to support ILN, Isabel, and the work she does, because it's absolutely incredible. And our portfolio system is the thing that you'll use to do your application. So if anyone has any questions at all, I'm more than happy to take them. But otherwise, sign up, and when you do make your portfolio, have a little explore, and you can always ask me questions via our intercom if you have any questions, and check out our magazine. But I look forward to it. I shan't take up any more time. I've already talked too much, so I'll
No, that was great, and I think it's really important that you guys have the late fees embedded into your invoices. It's something that not a lot of people do or know how to do, and it's key. And I definitely enjoy the the contracts as well. So I recommend it to everyone as well, especially because a lot of the features are free, so there's no risk involved to anyone. Thank you so much, Albert, for that explanation. It was really clear. I hope it's clear for everyone. So if anyone has any questions, let me know. One thing that I would just recommend is not to put your photo on the ILN portfolio itself, because we're going to try to make it, a different sort of recruitment. But when you go to our website, so you go to the portfolio, to Underpin, you fill out the portfolio as Albert explained, then you get that link, and then you send it to us on a form that's on our website. On the form, you also select the 2 mentors you like to work with, the same that you mentioned on your application. And then there's a series of questions like around demographics that you can, or they can like respond to help us understand who's applying to ILN networking, but they are obviously optional. There are a few questions around how you found out about us, if this is your first mentoring program and things like that. It doesn't take more than like a minute to fill out. It's all like multiple answers. It really helps us if you can fill it out. But essentially, the mentors will receive only the link to your portfolio and will analyze through that. People ask a lot about what were the criteria that they use. So usually the mentors will look at what you said that you need to support with and why you want to work with them, and figure out if you're the person they can help the most. But that's where the video comes in. Last year, we made the video something only on the second round of selection because it was impossible to choose with text only. The video really helps us to see your personality, and it really does shine a light. It's not about quality of video at all. You will see on the podcast, as I mentioned, we talked about this extensively. It's actually a really nice experience for you to like put yourself forward and talk about yourself. You have like a minute, and it's not pressure at all. It's really helps them to understand your energy, if it fits. because mentoring is a very subjective relationship in a way. It's a lot about trust, and the mentors are going to share things about themselves beyond their network with you. So there has to be that sort of feeling as well. But if you want to have the best chances of being selected with the mentor you want to work with, the way to do it is, one, to really read about them. If we did interview them for the podcast, make sure to listen to that, listen about their story, and really think to yourself, okay, why do I want to be mentored by this person? Like, how do I think they can help me, and why? So those are the questions you're going to have to answer throughout your application, basically. And it can be anything. It can be like, oh, I really want to work with Jess Barlow because, like me, she started in a visual arts degree and pivoted twice, and I'm thinking about launching my own company, and so I feel like her experience guiding me, blah blah blah, that would be the best, something like that. Or, we had people last year who said that they were really disheartened with one specific aspect of the creative industry, and this other mentor's experience that was multifaceted and multi-hyphenate was something that they really aspire to achieve as well, and so on. So it really depends, because obviously we have people in fashion and social impact, in branding, in communications, in fashion e-commerce, and like all sorts of things, live arts, dance, data and operations in museums, to curating. So it will really depend on, what is it that you want to work with. And it really does not matter if you have 1 year of experience or 30. We had people last year who were 45 working as mentees, and we had people who were 19. So really, there is no ageism when it comes to ILN networking. We believe that everyone can be a mentor and everyone can be a mentee. It's really about sharing and collaboration and being part of the community. So I would say just really understanding why you want to work with that person really deeply, it's the key. So for instance, I'll give a few examples. Last year, we had a mentor who was organizing sort of like, she worked with a lot of galleries in her business. And a lot of people applied to work with her because they wanted to be represented by those galleries. But obviously that's a very superficial approach to that person's job, because that's not something that she can control. No, she couldn't really dictate who gets represented by a gallery or not. And then in the end, someone that she ended up working with was actually an artist who said, my work is very performance-based, and I'm trying to figure out how do I create a sustainable career. So I like to have input from a commercial eye from the industry, from the arts industry. So that worked really well. They had a lot to connect. Obviously, this is a skill that this person was really well placed to give. And it was advice that she could give in terms of how you place yourself as an artist in that field. So it was really exciting to see that sort of relationship evolve. But again, it was a very specific thing. It was really directed at that person's experience and their skills. So that's what I kind of ask you to assess. On our application on the website, when you go read about the mentors, they also write who they can help with. So they will tell you who they're most likely to work with. So you can see if that's the person for you. They'll explain if their experiences in this or that, or what they think they're best placed to support. Because for instance, you could be launching your own company. And so instead of working with someone who also has a company, you want to work with someone who has experience in e-commerce, or you want to work with someone who has experience in marketing and digital marketing, because that's the person you want at this stage. So as long as you make that clear, you will have a lot of chances to be selected. Obviously, I know some people that apply to the mentoring scheme because you come to our events or you're members or whatever. So I'm not involved in the applications. Like at the end of the day, the mentors will select who they think they can support the most. Okay, so it's great to talk to me and come to this, but obviously I can give like this sort of advice, but obviously I can't decide who goes or who doesn't get to this. So just that it's clear. I don't know if anyone has questions, please let us know. Otherwise, we'll start wrapping up, but oh my God, okay, here we go. Some questions. I'm just gonna put the link to the Meet the Mentors as well so everyone can see. Okay, can the YouTube Vimeo link be unlisted to show up in the UnderPinned portfolio? Albert, do you know? I think so, right? Yes, yeah. So yes,
yeah, it can. You can
be
use any Vimeo or YouTube link that has a shareable link. It can be unlisted.
Perfect. Yeah, obviously that's a good thing. You can probably also, if you don't want to put on YouTube or Vimeo, you can just upload it to your Google Drive and make that available to anyone and upload it. I just write the link on UnderPinned, although obviously YouTube and Vimeo works best because they are directly embedded into it. So, but it's up to you. Do you have more of a chance the earlier submittal application? Yeah, no, I mean, it's all gonna be considered as long as it's submitted by the due date, which is 10 a.m. London time, 19th of April, okay? So you have plenty of time to do it, although I would recommend doing sooner rather than later, because then you panic and you don't have time to do the video, etc. And we want you to have time to edit your portfolio. As Albert mentioned, you can edit it quite easily on private mode, so you can start working on it. And when you're really happy with it, it's done. So we've given everyone who subscribed to our newsletter over a month of lead on the questions that you need. So I think we have enough, you have enough time. You're not supposed to write like a huge essay. And the video, as I said, can be something, some people did the video like on one shot and some people did 17 takes, you know? So it will, again, it will depend on you. Can we apply even if we don't live in the UK? Yes, the program is 100% international. Ideally, the applications are in English, obviously. However, you can make a note if you prefer to work with someone who's from that language. So we have people who are from, you know, Switzerland and from Brazil and so on. But yes, you can apply from literally anywhere in the world as long as you're willing to adapt to other people's sort of like time zones. Because we have an amazing mentor, for instance, Pragya. She's like incredible journalist, founder, like co-founder of a huge media company. She's one of the representatives, directors of Flint PR. She's based in Delhi. So obviously if you work with her and you're based in the UK, you're gonna have to talk to her around 8 to 9 a.m. your time, FYI. Can we edit our portfolio after it's been published if we want to change anything on it? I think so, right? Yeah, because you can, yeah. Because we're only gonna get the link. So if you edit it, that's fine. You just won't be able to edit it after the 19th of April because we will have sent that information as well. As we choose 2 mentors on the list that we would most like to be mentored by, do we tailor our application to both? Yes, Lauren, you can talk about like the application being tailored to either one of them and explain why, or you can focus more on one. It's totally up to you. We asked people to select the mentors because last year a lot of people asked whichever, and that was difficult because then it made the advisory board go and have a think about it. And obviously we are not you, like you as the applicant, so we don't exactly know. We did sometimes suggest like, oh, maybe this person to that one, etc. But yeah, you can tailor to both of them and explain why. They all know what the process looks like, so no one's gonna be hurt. If you have questions at any point, like as long as it's before the 19th of April, you can email us and we'll try to respond to everyone. And yeah, we have, as I mentioned, a podcast with almost everyone. We have lots of events coming up. We have one, for instance, with Jody Motor-Hamilton, who's one of our mentors. And so lots of opportunities for you to meet them and try to figure out that they're the right person for you. How long it takes to get the results. Okay, Penny. The program starts from September, so we are aiming to announce everyone who's been confirmed in between June and July. Last year, it took really long time for the mentors to select their mentees because they were really sort of in doubt. That's why we added the video this year and a bunch more other questions on the forum and things like that to make the process smooth. But yes, you should be able to hear from us by June, the latest, about if you're successful or not. And every single person will be emailed about their success in the program. How do you ensure application is strong if you're choosing two different style mentors? Again, Victoria, you can talk about them both in different ways. Like if maybe you want to work with someone either who will help guide your career in one way, or someone who definitely will help you with something completely different. Or you can select two mentors that are sort of like in the same field. So they're both in publishing, or they're both in journalism, or they're both in marketing, and explain that this is really where you like to work. And those are the two people that you feel closer to because of X, Y, and Z. But if you really just want to work with one mentor, that's also fine. You can just select that one and tailor it to that person. So Mariana asked, okay, how many people does each mentor work with? So one mentor and one mentee. So we have around 57. Okay, I lost count, but like over 50 mentors. So we're hoping to have the same amount of mentees. Last year, we did have some mentors who selected to work with more than one mentee, but it's not really the rule because not a lot of them have the time. So it's 100% up to them. But yeah, initially each mentor selects one mentee and you only work with that person. And so, okay, that's it. Do they have, okay, in terms of filling in the portfolio, do we use this simply to answer the application questions at the video, or do we add any link text or projects we have done before? You can add links like to your LinkedIn or something if you feel like that's relevant. You may add some links to projects as well if you again think that's relevant, but the main judgment the main selection will definitely be on the questions. That's what they're gonna judge people from. Of course, if you feel like illustration about something that you've done, it's really, really important, that also can be sent. There's no problem. Albert, I don't know if you saw that, but that's one for you. Thank you so much. The platform is so useful and I did not know about it. Teaching me more than uni ever did. So well done for that. Thanks, Sophie. That's really nice. How many people? Yeah. How do you ensure application? I think I got to all of them. How long it takes? Can you apply? Just okay. I think I answered all of them. But if anyone has any questions extra, let me know. I think that's it. So feel free, no, please listen to the podcast or go to your YouTube this Friday with our mentees from last year's edition. They all worked in very different ways, one in publishing, one in visual arts, one in like museums, heritage and fashion, and the other one in live arts and dance. And they'll talk about the whole system, how it works and all of that. We definitely want to have lots of applications again, but the most important is that we have quality applications, obviously, that you really feel like this program is going to make a difference to you. If you're not sure, if you don't think you're at a mentoring mindset right now, you can also connect with us to be part of our membership scheme or anything like that. Can we select? Yeah, you'll be connected with one mentor, Vicky. We asked for two just so that we can make sure that you have more chances as well of getting selected. We found that last year a lot of people wanted to actually put more than one person on the application, which is why we changed it this year, so that you have more, opportunities. As I said, maybe you want to work with someone who does one thing and another person who does another thing, or you see two people who you find their experience both really, really interesting and you can't choose. So we don't see why not. So you have more chances of getting selected. If your career history is a bit untraditional, you have worked in jobs recently that are not at all related to what you really want to do, how do you explain this in your career history? So it totally does not matter, Victoria. It's all about your narrative and why do you think this will benefit you and how do you see it going forward. We really aim not to judge anyone from what happened or what's been done previously. It really is about where you're at right now, how those experiences shaped you this far, and what do you want to achieve moving forwards. That's the most important thing. It's not like a job like application or an interview. Like, it's not about demonstrating that you have tons of skills or all the answers. It's about telling everyone that you're ready to find the answers with the prompt of someone else, that you're ready to grow and welcome to feedback and move your career to a different direction or move it forwards or something. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. We had, recent moms who applied. We had people who were changing their careers in their 50s applying, and all of them got really great, results anyway. And obviously there's a lot of people who their mentors themselves are super multifaceted. They all had their like ups and downs. They all had their failures and their moments of despair and the complete turnaround in their careers. So it's really not that important. We really will try to consider everyone through what they want right now, as opposed to what was before. So as long as you can draw some learnings from that, that's totally fine. Just checking if both mentors won't select you, would there be a chance to work with a third one? So I don't think so, Nora, just because the way the application is set up. However, when you fill out the form to put the UnderPinned link on our website, there is an option over there to ask if you'd like to have a one-off peer-to-peer mentoring session. So we're working with some of our former mentees who feel like they can, help someone with at least a one-off mentoring application, which is something that we've always wanted to do, to make this program really circular, so that everyone who was mentoring the first year in 5 years' time can all be mentors. That's like the dream, right? And everyone gives back. So we have a question for you to decide if you would like to be considered for that, and then we can try to pair people with other people for at least a one-off session. Last year as well, we had some of the mentors doing sort of one-off online events or group coaching things. Again, this is still being discussed on a case-by-case basis with the mentors, but yeah, we'll try to pair as many people as possible and support you as much as possible as well. Cool. I think those are all the questions. I need water. Okay. Thanks guys for joining. Again, we'll post this online so that you can stay and know exactly how to use everything. I'll do a few more posts and videos throughout the journey to apply. If you have questions, let us know. Definitely go and look at all the resources. We send lots of information on our newsletter as well. We try not to spam anyone. I highly recommend signing up to UnderPinned's newsletter as well. They send you the jobs. They have really, really great articles on their magazine. They're really useful. They just published one that I really enjoyed about being like an arts graduate right now, which is great. So definitely go and explore that platform. Really excited to be partnering with them. Again, we're totally aligned on our mission to make the creative industry better for everyone and more accessible. So yeah, thank you so much for coming. I hope your questions have all been answered. If you didn't get to answer because you're not exactly sure, email us or message Albert and Jack on UnderPinned if you want to talk to them. Albert's also very active on LinkedIn, so I recommend connecting with him and like networking. All power to you. He posts really great stuff. So he also has a very diverse career and upbringing, so he's a good person to look up for. And I think that's it. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Albert. Thank you, Jack, for staying with us. And I will speak to everyone pretty soon. And this will be uploaded later on our YouTube channel. Thanks, guys.